Hello everyone and welcome back to the Synergy Sanctum. My name is Justin. Thank you so much for stopping by. Here at the Synergy Sanctum, we specialize in all things related to Magic the Gathering, with a specific focus on deck building. So I aim to show you very quick deck techs that'll show you all of the cards in the deck and how they work together to ultimately achieve the goals of that deck. If you're not already, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We really appreciate that. And we also have a sister channel now, so head on over to Commander Coliseum and check out their content as well. And for today's deck tech, we have another Avatar, The Last Airbender spoiler for you today with Toph the First Metalbender, an EDH-focused deck focused on animating lands and getting all of this additional value off of lands attacking and lands getting boosted from cards. And Toph has a pretty powerful ability as well, like it's not enough to animate the lands and earthbend those, but she's also turning all of your non-token artifacts into lands in addition to their other types. So at a minimum, you're getting extra mana, and at a maximum, you're getting another body to swing in and just attack every turn. So it's really, really powerful here. Love Toph the First Metalbender, super solid art. And TCG market value is a little expensive. It might be because of the pre-sale prices or just because of the lands matter cards that we're running in the deck. But TCG market value currently is $269 to $297. Our land count is 35, with only 15 of those being basics and then 20 of those being non-basics. So we're going to try to play as many artifacts as we can to get this engine going, get Toph out as quickly as possible, and then really start trying to animate our full land boards and make sure that they don't die. So getting started, here are all of the artifacts that we are running in the deck. You'll notice there are a lot of just kind of Cheerio artifacts here, or ones that are low to the ground or get value off of entering or leaving. So we're running a Solemn, which gets you a land and gets you a draw. Zurin Orb only costs 0, and then you can sack a land to gain 2 life, and that would count the ones that Toph is turning into lands. Price Statues getting you treasures when it enters or leaves. Ornithopter is just another 0 drop that it has flying, so it's a flying land. Survey Mechan has hexproof, and then you can sack it at the cost of 10, and it deals 3 damage to any target. Target player draws 3 cards and gains 3 life, and it costs X less, where X is the number of different named lands you control. So this is most likely going to cost 0, and you've got the ability to draw 3 cards, do 3 damage, and gain 3 life. Mycosith latest, let's just cut to the chase. Everything's an artifact, which means everything's a land, so super powerful here. Soul Rain is our rock. Mycosith Wellspring's getting you lands when it enters or leaves. Ornithopter Paradise is letting you tap for any color, and then Scrap Trawler is returning artifacts when other artifacts die. And then even more artifacts in the deck, so we're running every land artifact that we can. Tree of Tales, Great Furnace, Darksteel Citadel, and Ancient Den are all artifacts in addition to being lands. Mishra's Bauble says that you can sack it and look at the top card of target player's library, and then you draw, but it's here because it's a 0-drop artifact. Bright Glass Gearhulk, pretty powerful. When it enters, you can search for up to 2 artifact, creature, and or enchantment cards with mana value 1 or less, reveal them, and put them into your hand, so you can go find all of these artifacts. Ichor Wellspring's getting you a draw when it enters or leaves. Haywire Might has removal built in on it. You can get rid of a non-creature artifact or enchantment. And then Darksteel Relic is an indestructible artifact for 0, which means that it's going to be an indestructible land that you can attack with once Toph animates it. And then here's all of our earthbending cards, or cards that are turning lands into creatures. So a lot of them printed in the Avatar set. Toph Greatest Earthbender, when she enters, she earthbends X, where X is the amount of mana spent to cast her. And then she's also giving all of your lands double strikes. So powerful. Toph the Blind Bandit, when she enters, she earthbends, and then her power is equal to the number of counters on lands you control. And earthbending is just so powerful because it protects the land. The land comes back if it happens to die, so really solid. Toph Earthbending Master gives you experience counters off of landfall, and then when she attacks, you get to Earthbend X, where X is your experience counters. Badger Mole, when it enters, it Earthbends 2 and then gives them all trample. Sylvan Awakening just cuts to the chase and turns all of your lands into 2/2 creatures with indestructible and haste. Avatar Kyoshi says that she has hexproof during your turn. Beginning of combat, you get to Earthbend 8 and untap that land. So broken. Earthbending Lessons, Earthbending for 4. Boomy Unleashed is Earthbending for 4 as well, but he's letting you get multiple combats with your lands, so really strong here. Earth Rumbles letting you Earthbend 2, and then Boomy Eclectic Earthbender lets you Earthbend 1 when it enters, but when he attacks, you can put counters on each land you control. So powerful. And then even more land animation, not necessarily with the earthbending, but Obun Moldiah Ancestor, printed a long time ago. The beginning of combat, up to 1 land becomes an XX elemental creature with trample, where X is his power, but when a land enters, you get to boost him. Blinkmoth Nexus and Inkmoth Nexus can become creatures for 1. Inkmoth has Infect, so that can get pretty crazy with the earthbending and boosting them. Ashaya Soul of the Wilds, turning all of your creatures into lands. And then Black Panther Wakandan Kane says that when he or another creature you control enters, you get to put a counter on a land, and then you can pay 3 to move those counters from lands onto other things. And you're going to gain life and draw a card. And then supporting the lands, not too much here, but we got Earthbending Student, which is giving them all Vigilance. Blossoming Tortoise is letting your land's abilities cost 1 less, but it's also giving them a boost of 1. And then Embodiment of Fury says that when a land enters, you're going to get to turn a land into a 3/3 creature, and all land creatures have trample. So super strong support cards here. And then here are our cards. In case everything I'm describing fails, we can just rely on good old landfalls to win. So Tanuk Memorial and Signs giving you draws when a land enters. Scoot Swarms just becoming a mob of insects. Lotus Cobra is giving you mana. Omnath Locust of Rage is giving you elementals when a land enters. Avenger of Zendikar is making a bunch of plants when it enters, and then making those plants bigger when you play lands. Morag, Fury of Akom, is giving you multiple combats when lands enter. Tireless Provisioners giving you treasures or food. Tireless Trackers giving you clues that you can then sack and draw. And then Felidar Retreat is giving you either cats, or it's putting counters on every creature you control and giving them vigilance, so it's probably here for that second ability. And then other good stuff in the deck, Titania, Protector of Argoth. Whenever a land you control is put into the graveyard, if it's earthbending, not only will the land come back, but she'll also make you a 5/3 creature. Terra Eternal, so broken, it's giving your lands indestructible. So with Toph, this is just, man, it's just getting out of control now. Your lands are indestructible, they're probably big, they have trample or other abilities, and now they're not even going to die. It's just crazy. Sylvan Safekeeper lets you sack a land to protect something. And then Hugh the Entwood, really interesting card. You can sack any number of lands. You reveal the top cards of your library, where X is the number that you sacked. You get to choose any number of artifacts or lands, put them all onto the battlefield. Just so good, because not only will those lands be mana, but those artifacts will be lands as well if Toph is out. So really broken here. And then decent amount of draw on the deck. We got Seismic Sense, which lets you look at the top X cards, where X is the number of lands, and you can pick a creature or land and put it in your hand. Inspiring Call, all of this earthbending is going to be counters on creatures, so you're going to get to draw for each one and then protect them for the turn. Guardian Projects letting you draw off of non-token creatures entering. Explorers letting you play an additional land and draw, and then Demand Answers is letting you draw 2 cards that cost a sack in an artifact or discarding a card. And then removal in the deck, we're running a Swords to Plowshares and a Path to Exile to deal with problem creatures. Blasphemous Act is our board wipe. Chaos Warp and Beast Within to deal with problem permanents. And then Vandal Blast is here because of the Mycosith latest on that first slide. If everything is turned into artifacts and you overload a Vandal Blast, you are blowing up your opponent's entire board. So just really, really broken. And then a decent amount of mana in the deck. We want to make sure we have all of our colors that we need available. So something like Prismatic Omens, turning your lands into every land. Myria, Scholar of Antiquity, is letting you use your artifacts to make mana or get pseudo draw. Joiner Adept is turning all your lands into any color. Dune Chanter is here because he's making all of your lands tap for any color, so that includes the artifacts. Dryad of the Elysian Grove doing the same thing. Lands you control are every basic type. A Darksteel Ingot, another indestructible land creature at a maximum, but at a minimum it's a mana of any color. Cultivate is here to ramp us. Chromatic Lantern turns all of your lands into any color you want, and then Arcane Signet taps for any of the 3 colors in Toph's identity, red, white, or green. And with that, our show has come to an end. Thank you so much for watching our video, and if you enjoyed that video, feel free to share it out with any friends who might find value in it as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. We hope to see you again soon. Have a good one.